right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadas. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone, our teachers, and salutation to the Akin, teaching the truth out the folk on the earth and true society, man. This basically just a quick lesson I was meditating on, man. And I was scrolling through YouTube, and I seen a video on RT News, and basically it was talking about how Trump is opposing and trying to get this wall, man. And which, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, I believe he will get his wall, man. Because guess what? If we do a recount real quick, he was asking for this wall, and we started the year off with a government shutdown because of this wall, man. And he was threatening to let the government shut down for a very long time, man, just to get this wall. And then it's chess, not checkers, man. So people think that Trump caved, but really it really wasn't, man. It was the underlay. It was the overlay for the underlay, man. So now he said we was gonna go to court, this and that. They denied him. But then guess what? They opposed and gave Trump and said that he was gonna bring a fence, but he was gonna send National Guards, right? National Guards and federal workers, I believe, to the border to patrol it and stop the immigrants from coming over and stuff like that. This big immigrant thing, right? And guess what? That's failing, man. So guess what? Trump is going back to the Supreme Court and asking for this money for the wall, because guess what? The same people that he sent over there to patrol his wall and stuff like that, they even letting the immigrants go through, but they are getting paid to smother even more drugs into the United States, man. So they didn't even they supposed to cease the problem, but they helping aid the immigrants, man. They said on this video they was getting paid. They not stopping the crisis, which it was a whole controversy on this, because Mexico was supposed to send troops to stop the crisis too, because Trump was finna put tariffs on their country, which was gonna drive prices up again, man. But the whole point of this video is martial law, man, and that's what we're gonna go into, man. I don't want to make a long introduction, but I had to give you a little background of what this video is going into, man, because everything is lining up. Everything is going according to prophecy, which is going to bring in this mark of the beast, ultimately, and then it's going to bring in this martial law, because guess what? We got to have chaos and to set up order, man. Order out of chaos, man. So he's going to call this problem, bring in martial law, and then bring in a solution, man. So, with no further ado, let's get a couple scriptures. I don't want to talk too long, man. This Habakkuk 3. It's a verse. Let's start at 14. It say, "Dost thou strike through with staff the head of their villages? They come out as a whirlwind to scatter me. That rejoice was to devour the poor secretly." And this happened. It's going to happen again. But also when last year, when they had them hurricanes down south, they was bringing people to FEMA camps, but guess what? They weren't telling people that they was actually putting people in concentration camps. They was killing people. It was a man that got on YouTube and said that he went into the FEMA camp for help, but secretly they was killing them inside, man. So this is also is going to prove that, man, this Esau never trust your enemy, man. Esau is the devil. It says, verse 15. They do walk through the sea with their horses through the help of great waters. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips shivered at their voice, rottenness into my bones, and I terrored in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he had come upon the people, he will invade them with his troops, man. And with this wall, it's going to block off certain checkpoints, man, which we already been having in certain cities if you've been paying notice, man. That's why you think you see certain things happening and playing out. They're gearing up for martial law, in which this wall is going to protect them from getting over here and them going over there when they implement martial law, man. So let's get a couple more scriptures, and then we're going to close it out. I got like, it's all upon the spirit. This Jeremiah 30. 30 and 7. It say, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. And what day this time about? This time about all hell break loose, which we approaching with the society collapsing and everything, man. It's saying there's none like it. So this time, which when you read in the scriptures, we heard about different invasions. We heard about famine. But this time is nothing like this day coming, which is going to implement martial law. And say, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, and Jacob's trouble is talking about martial law, man. When all hell is about to break loose, right? It say, but he shall be saved out of it. And who is the he? He's talking about the elect. The ones that seeking Yahweh Shema Shai on their whole heart, man. Doing this thing sincere and showing their works through their faith, man. Now, we always bring out this scripture, and then we go to the Daniel. This Daniel 12:1. It say, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stand for the children of my people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was seen that was on a nation, even to the same time. Man. Because when you go into history, we know about different famines. We know about different troubles of a heathen coming to invade us. But this time, when the heathen or Esau come down with that great wrath, it's not going to be nothing like it. It's going to be a time of great trouble, man. It say, and at that time that people shall be delivered. So guess what? Everybody is not going to go through these atrocities. Someone is going to get saved, man. Someone is going to go find themselves in a jam and going to get out that jam. Because guess what? These things is happening on a mass scale. Martial law is here. You hear normal people talking about martial law. You hear people talking about they need martial law, especially in Chicago, man. Because more and more is nothing but killing, robbing. But guess what? It's only because of poverty level, man. When you don't have money in the streets, when you don't have things circulating, you get people killing each other. Because guess what? They under distress, they panicking. That's in any statistics. Look it up, man. They say, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So everyone that's in the book of life shall be delivered, man. And that's ultimately talking about the 144 and the 1/3, man. Hopefully we striving to be that, part of those numbers, man. Because guess what? These times is going to be ugly. We don't want to be caught in these times, man. We want Yahweh Shema Rashai to deliver us out of these troubles, man. This second Esdras 15 and 14, it say, woe unto the world and them that dwell in. So destruction to this world. That's what's coming. Destruction, famine, death, pestilence, all these things, man. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, man. And that's what you see on a mass scale. All these other nations gearing against each other. You're going to see policemen against policemen, policemen against people. You're going to see all these things on a wider scale, on a big scale that's approaching, man. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their king nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. Which, if you pay attention to different current events, and these things is happening already. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. And what is this talking about, man? Martial law. when you can't leave, when you have a curfew, when you not so-called folk to be thinking you free and you not, man, it's gonna be checkpoints, especially in Chicago. They're gonna lift up them bridges, which we always go into. You're not gonna be able to get from Chicago to Indiana, or Indiana to Chicago, or from the south side of Chicago to the north side of Chicago, man, or to the west side. These things is gonna be cut off, and troops is gonna be in the streets. It say, verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. And because all the prideful of these people, man, because when the Lord is calling, videos like this and letting you, warning you people, you ignore it. You it's like a slap in the Lord's face. You spit in his face, man. And since you want to spit in his face, he's going to spit in your face, man. Because of all the wickedness. Hey, it say in Jeremiah 11:11, man. Hey, it said when these things come upon you, hey, you should not be able to escape. Crying to your gods, when judges said, man. So who's going to deliver you in those days, man? I butchered so many scriptures, but hey, you get the point. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. Because when this famine comes, when all hell break loose, when hyperinflation, all these things come upon you, man. And guess what? The spirit of Yahweh Shema Rashai, you're gonna want to go invade that person that have food, man. Especially if you know they got a little money or they was doing well and better than you, or anything. Especially you women, well, all you want to show your behalf naked and all these things, man. You think these men is gonna spare you in those days, man? Because guess what? 2 years ago, or a year ago, 911, they was on the verge of breaking 911. They not funny 911. Look these things up. See, these people don't do researches, man. Imagine they didn't fund 911. The police, who you love, so-called love dearly to call, man, upon. Imagine when those things, when you pick up a phone and the phone don't dial. Imagine when someone is knocking on your door or kicking your door in, and you had childs or kids in the next room, and they holding you down, pinning you down. Imagine those things. Or walking in these streets and you claim you don't want a man. And don't get it twisted, man. Hey, these men is going to be terrible too. It say, man shall be afraid, man. Because this nation, this nation and this wicked people that's finna do these things they have a perverse spirit, man. They're gonna rape them too, man. Take a hard, and these troops, these former troops of them Russia, China, all these people don't care about that, man. They ready for combat. But let's get one more scripture. I don't want to rant. But you have to really visualize these things, man. Hey, what happened when the wars are spoil you? You take women, you take gold, you take everything, man. And guess what? In those days, women is going to want to get in order. They're going to want to wish they listen, man. All these simple niggas, man. This Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall that fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. What's a flood? That martial law, right? And say the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, man. So we're not worried about you, Esau. We're not worried about you, Edomites, or all these other nations that's going to come against the elect. Because the Lord is going to gather and protect his loved ones, man. That seek him. That's seeking him now. That's enduring to the end, man. But the rest of you people, you're going to be caught in that rapture. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, our teachers, and salutations to the Akim and teaching the truth of the folk on the earth and true city, man. Until next time, Shalom.